Now that I'm getting to be the older guy in the room, I feel like I can share a little bit of wisdom, especially when it comes to building wealth through real estate. All of a sudden it's been 32 years. And when I think back to when we bought our first home, some things jump out at me. And it wasn't like we really thought it through, but that first payment for us was easy. And I feel like that's how it should be, because you want to go out and do fun shit. You want to go out on the weekends, go visit your friends, hop on a plane. You don't have to think about it. You're probably going to have to buy a car. You're getting started. You got to fill it up with stuff. So having a comfortable payment, I think, is super important. When I think back, there's still some things that were kind of dumb that I did. Like 401k was a new thing, and I didn't fund it for the first 3 years because I thought it ate into my beer fund. The point is, you want to have extra space to do the things you should do as well as the things you want to do. While you're in that first home, I do think it's super important to learn how to do stuff. Now, I'm not saying you need to learn how to switch from aluminum to copper wiring or anything like that, anything crazy, but learning how to use a paintbrush, how to caulk a tub, some of the basics I think is important. It can go a long way, it can save you money, all kinds of good things come from it. You feel good about yourself, you feel good about your house. It's your place. Some of the things that I've done over the years are like I've done a flagstone patio. I'm not super handy, but over time I've gotten better at it. And especially in that first home, it can give you confidence when your skills get better to do things like flip a home later or have rental property or maybe even building a home. The last thing about having the space to save and fund retirement is at some point you're going to want to move. And so having the ability to move into that next house, you want to have options. You probably have some equity, so you can maybe pull that equity from the sale to buy that next house, but maybe you want to hold on to your current home as a rental. Having cash is going to be super important to help you get to that next house. When you're looking for that next house, this one's probably going to be very different. You're going to be thinking about a longer term plan. Maybe you need more space. Your family's growing. Maybe you're concerned about schools. Maybe you're thinking about neighborhoods more. When you're buying that first house, you almost don't care where you live. You're just happy to have a house and be near fun stuff. But the second one is so different. So that one probably requires a lot more strategy and planning. And that's where people like financial planners and CPAs and loan officers, they could be super helpful for you to map it out. I love helping people map out a 1, a 3, a 5-year plan. Because sometimes that's what it takes before you're really ready to make that next move. And then that second house does probably become more long-term. We go through years where the economy's doing well and things are great, and then things aren't so great. And then you have kids and you have extra costs and you're trying to save for 529 plans. And so many things are happening. And then all of a sudden, you gotta start spending money on kitchen renovations and bathrooms and lots of high-cost items. And sometimes many people can get where debt feels like it's consuming them. You have to get an equity line. You have to take cash out. And so that's where it can be super challenging to do that next phase in life that you really want to do. A lot of times people get stuck, or at least they feel stuck because of all these things swirling around them. Those 5, 10, 15 years, so much has changed. And it can almost feel overwhelming to think about that next phase, that next house you want, or maybe you want to buy a second home, or maybe you do want to buy a rental property or get into some other investments. And again, that goes back to having a CPA that you trust, a financial planner that you like, and a loan officer that can guide you through these things too. But you're a survivor. You made it this far. You've done so many great things. And then at some point, you'll start to realize, you know what? I can do some things. But again, it requires planning and strategy. And when we talk about these other things like rental real estate and second homes, it really does have to be about the numbers. Like most things in life, you learn by error. And you don't really want to learn by error on things like this because things can go sideways in a hurry. I've seen so many people buy second homes that shouldn't. And I've seen so many people that could buy second homes, but they just didn't realize it, or they have hesitation, primarily because they don't know all of the factors. If they really knew all of their options and the things that they could do, they probably would have done it. But at the end of the day, most of the time, it's about the numbers. I've flipped homes, and I've noticed whenever there's emotion in it, where you're making a decision that's more about your emotions, what you want, what you think, again, it can go the wrong way. Yeah, sure, you got to listen to your gut too. I've definitely made decisions where I just, in my heart, I knew it was going to work out. Bought a lot once that I knew was going to 2 or 3x, and it did. But I also got got into some investments that I'm like, I don't know that this is going to go well. Sure enough, didn't. So if I'd listened to my gut, and that example I'm thinking of, it wasn't really just about the numbers, but I should have listened to my gut. So again, it goes back to you can learn things through error, but you want to try to avoid them as much as possible because it's no fun to lose money. And you can, for sure you can. You get to be like my age or older and the kids are grown. It's that next phase. And so then there's some even more thoughts about what to do. Do you downsize? Do you buy that second home in Florida or another area? But by then you've probably got a lot more options than you did 10, 15, 20 years ago. Again, leaning on the people that you know, that you trust with your money, your CPAs, financial planners, and loan officers. You probably do really start to realize that building wealth through real estate, it's a real thing. You'll see stuff on social media that talks about it in a negative way. And it's just not true. If you look at the net worth of people that don't own real estate fall way down on the list. And people that own real estate, the net worth is much higher. But it's a long game. Quick hitters are dangerous. Yes, flipping homes can make you money, but it can also lose money. So you have to think of this as long term. Just like your 401k and other investments, the things that you do that build wealth, it takes time. But I love talking about this. And if it's something you want to learn more about, you want to get into, you're just learning, I'm happy to talk about it. I love talking about it. So yeah, if you want to learn more about it, I'm happy to help. I love talking about this stuff. So whether you've never done anything or you're looking to get into something new like commercial property or buying a lot or building a home, hey, I'm happy to talk about it.